So Shane, we've just been having a really good chat about what we've learned from investing in ourselves and,
Yeah.
um, going along the personal development journey over the years, what we've done. And I was saying to you that it's over the years, it's when I've invested a large amount of money in my personal development, like I mean
Yes.
$20,000 plus,
Yeah.
that I've really noticed the growth in myself. It's not necessarily from what I've learned from the people who I've paid money to. It's more
Yeah.
about what I've learned from myself along the journey.
Well, and
And
I just want to ask you that because like I got really excited when you started talking about certain experiences and you said you learned about yourself, not the technical Facebook channel thing, adverts and
yeah.
whatever it is, all that technical stuff. Tell us tell us that story you invested in a guy in America, enormous amount of money. You went to San Diego and then tell us that story. That was fantastic. That.
Yeah.
What
So
did you learn about yourself, not the technical stuff?
yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Because I didn't learn much technical stuff.
For $20,000 plus the flights over and all the accommodation.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I had a guy who was reaching out to me consistently, and he done Facebook marketing and ClickFunnels, and he was telling me that he would be able to create this easy flow to get leads, and by doing Facebook ads, and then ClickFunnels would be running just to bring them in. And before I said yes to the program that he was offering, that my intuition was telling me that
Yeah,
I didn't need to do that. But
yeah,
logically, I was thinking, well, that's going to be really easy for them to implement. I haven't got to learn all about it. They're going to
yeah,
like do it for me, and it will be like part of my business. And so
yeah.
I that was one of the times that I allowed the logic to take over and just said to my intuition, it's okay, I know what I'm doing, and I went with it. It
And
was
it
a
cost you 20,000 plus.
it cost me 20,000 to do the program, and then I had to fly over to San Diego for 3 days to do
Oh
the
my
on
word.
in classroom training as well.
Yeah.
And just every single thing that he was doing was inauthentic. It
Oh,
just nothing went right. We had the time difference issues whenever I was trying to get hold of him or his team, and he made out he had this big team, and actually he didn't. And then it wasn't until I really flew over there that I realized that I really should have listened to myself and that gut feeling and
yeah.
should have gone with that. But I grew from the experience, even though it was horrendous, like the whole time that I was working with him. I did learn a lot about myself as well. Um, and really, it was another opportunity for me to really learn about my intuition and to connect in with that gut feeling again and to just listen to it. You don't always have to go with it, but just to listen to it more because it's
Yeah.
there to guide us. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
think
did you learn to from that experience, which was an expensive experience that you
yeah,
had to go through so that you could learn the lesson, did you learn to trust your intuition more?
yes,
That's
yeah,
gold. So was it worth 20 grand
it
to
was.
learn that lesson?
Yeah, it was because, as I said, I learned so much about myself during that time as well. And
Yeah.
uh, like when we're authentic in our businesses and we're really doing it because we feel like it's our purpose, our passion,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
we we just do it.
Yeah.
It shines through because people who are all talk and they're not actually living from that space,
Yeah.
they get found out,
Yeah.
and it made me realize that the way that I am in business with and yourself as well with the authenticity is so important. It's
Yeah.
so important because
And
it
it's so
builds
much
trust.
easier.
It's so much easier. You just turn up and be yourself.
Be yourself. And so really what we're trying to do, if we're saying we're connecting into our authentic self, that means we're present with our soul. or higher self, and we're allowing the energy of the universe to flow through us and to basically benefit the people we came here to serve. That's really the story, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, your story is fantastic, Anne. The gift you have of healing and helping people heal their life. It might be a healing, physical healing, or it might be emotional healing, or a healing in their business. All of it. So we're so grateful that you do connected to yourself and you don't listen to the logical side.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Does
Because
it make it
and
easier as you go down the road? Is it easier to learn to listen to your intuition more than your logic, or does it just become it's equal? It's always a challenge.
it really depends, because I've also had experiences where my intuition has just been completely quiet when I've been making a decision. And the reason that I've known like months or years later on why it was quiet is because I actually needed to go through that experience and learn
Okay.
from it.
So everything is a lesson, and you're perfectly placed. Doesn't matter what you're going through, and that is a tough one to stomach, because some people really experience massive trauma in their life.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I found that if there are two paths and you know how to connect in with your intuition will be there to guide you, and then you have a choice whether you're listening to it or not. But if it's like a real big life lesson that's going to like change lanes for you, or get you into where you're meant to be, then the intuition can be quiet because it needs you to actually have the experience, have the lesson so that you grow.
Wow. And I'm going to touch on something then. Your experience last year, how did
Yeah.
what you've just said actually play out?
Yeah, so going through breast cancer last year enabled me to really learn how to work with my own mindset, work with my intuition, and throughout the whole experience, even with all of the treatment that I went through and the trauma in the beginning of being told how aggressive it was, enabled me to just be able to keep a really positive mindset, like the faith and the certainty that I had
Yeah.
within me during the whole of last year gave me the result of it being completely gone. Like
Wow.
when they done the scans again 6 months later, the specialist couldn't believe that it wasn't there.
Wow.
Like they kept checking the scans, and I had to go for another one, like a more detailed one, in case they was missing something, because they couldn't believe that it had completely gone. So
Wow.
all of our experiences, whatever we're going through, give us an opportunity to either practice what we're here to teach,
Yeah.
or it's to help us help others, or get back in lane of where we're meant to be.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah.
That's really, really helpful, because to keep it simple, and it's something interesting you just said, that I keep maintaining that there's always two lanes. So there's the lane of what I keep thinking it feels like you're on a treadmill where you're getting the same results over and over, and it's like you're headbutting your head against the wall. It's not what you want, but you just keep getting those results. It doesn't matter how hard you try. Then there's and you're kind of moving past guilt, shame, whatever it is, and the future worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, and it just keeps going backwards and forwards in that lane. That's what you're driving. Then there's the moment you say, I'm going to use restriction as my superpower, say, hold your horses. I'm not going to react. I'm going to take control of my life, and I'm going to elevate my consciousness into this realm of possibility, what I call, or what we call, success consciousness, which is an energy that we can't see with our, and we can't interpret with our conscious mind really, but it's there. It's as real as the camera in front of us.
Yeah.
But there is, you mentioned that there's been times where your intuition has been completely quiet. What happened then? Because that doesn't mean that there's two lanes then. There's like, you have to go through one lane. What was that about?
Yeah. So the experience that comes to mind as I'm talking to you now is when we first emigrated to Australia. We had our home built whilst we were still in London. So when we flew over, it was all ready for us. And Steve and I had planned that we wasn't going to work for the first 2 years. We was just going to settle our children into school and just build a swimming pool, and enjoy our new
Yeah.
lifestyle. And we had
In paradise.
in paradise.
Yeah.
Um, and we'd been saving for years to be able to do that, and so we had quite a bit of money in the bank. And each time we went into the bank, they would say to us, "Do you want to see our financial advisor?" And I'd be like, "No."
You didn't even know what that was.
Never seen a financial advisor. I didn't need to see one. We'd done very well
Yeah.
on our own. And I think on about the fifth time we went in there and they asked us, they said, "It's free, he'll just have a chat with you," and things like that. I said to Steve, "Oh, shall we go and speak to him?" And he went, "Yeah, okay." So we did, saw him 3 times on different occasions before we said yes. So still no gut instinct that it was don't do
Wow.
it or anything like that.
Yeah.
We ended up saying yes. On his advice, we invested nearly all of our money plus borrowed money to
Out of equity.
yeah, to offset the tax and things like that. So we're up to nearly just under $1 million
Wow.
invested with him. And over the next few months, we realized that what he was telling us and what was happening to the money that we'd invested was complete opposite stories.
Yeah.
Started to really realize that our money was going down drastically. And then when we got a letter from the bank saying that if we didn't pay the money back that we'd borrowed, they was going to look into taking our home off of us, that we had no mortgage
Wow.
on or anything. We'd put that up as like the collateral.
Collateral. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was a
Wow.
horrendous journey because we didn't have any friends or family here. We didn't want to tell our parents what was happening in the UK and Spain because we didn't want them to worry,
Yeah.
and had to go through this journey. But what happened to me, I was so desperate one day that I was talking to my neighbor and she was quite spiritual and she gave me this book. And
Because you were a skeptic,
I
weren't
was a
you?
real skeptic. Yeah, I'm still trying to work out logically how I'm going to get out of the mess that I feel that I've got us in.
Yeah.
So I'm still like fully logic. This is what we
Not
need to
sleeping
do.
at night, and neither was
Not sleeping
Steve.
at night. Yeah, arguing with Steve because we're so stressed.
Yeah.
Neither of us have got jobs still because we didn't plan to have jobs. So like we're in the real mess. It was the lowest point ever.
Yeah.
And she gave me this book, and I thought, oh, she's a bit spiritual. And I left it on the coffee table for about 3 weeks. And one day I was waiting to pick up the kids from school and saw it, and I just picked it up, started to read it, and I was like, oh my God, there's something else that can help me instead of me trying to do this all by myself.
Yeah.
And like now I know that I had to go through that experience
Yeah.
so that it started me on the spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, so everything then just started to change, and we got people from the bank, the top level managers realized that something wasn't right. They reached out to us, and we ended up, I think we lost about $40,000 in the end.
Yeah.
But compared
Yeah.
to what we was going to do, that I was
Yeah.
so happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So you're saying that there's always two lanes, but one at some stages we have to go through this painful evolution as part of our curriculum.
yes. Now, what happens is that some people are not learning the lesson and they just stay on the treadmill of pain.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
don't make any changes, they don't
Yeah.
think differently or want to be open to anything else. And
Mm.
what happens is that the universe will just keep giving you more and more lessons to try and wake you up
Yeah.
so that you then go,
So it might go from a financial problem, it might go to a relationship problem, it might go to a health problem. It just, the problems keep piling up. Is that right?
yeah, definitely. And usually it's the thing that's going to wake you up the most. Like financial security to me is so important.
Yeah.
And that's what they'd done. They took away my financial security. So it's like
Yeah.
the rug had been ripped out from under my feet. I ended up on my bum and I had to go, hang on a minute, I need to
Yeah.
wake up. There's got to be another way of doing something.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
don't want to really get to that stage.
No,
We want to,
you can get ahead of that if
yeah,
you just make a decision. But what's interesting is that even in my life, I had to have the rug ripped from underneath me for me to, because I'm so freaking stubborn. It's different now. I'm open to learning because there is a more elegant way of doing it, isn't there, Anne?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it doesn't have to be so hard when you're open to it. You can go, oh yeah, okay. And it'll just be like little things that you can do.
Yeah.
The right people will come into your life, at the right time, or you'll hear the right thing on the radio or the TV, or there's the information there for us when we're open to it.
Well, now that you say that, so the two lanes, there's this lane of reality where we're looking from our five, or we're witnessing or experiencing life through our five senses. Then there's the lane of infinite potential. And this infinite potential actually has multiple realities happening all at once. And
Yeah,
we get to choose which reality we want to experience by lifting the frequency, the signal that we're sending out, because we live in a cause and effect world where the signal we're sending out is what mirrors back to us the results that we get.
yes,
So the
yeah,
question is, what are the results you're getting right now that you don't want? Because that's part of the subconscious signals. This is where your speciality is, Anne, where you're able to help people unblock the signal that is, or the belief system that is buried deep within subconscious. They don't even know it's there, and it's causing a conflict in the signal. The signal needs to be clean and clear for it to for the universe to send it back to us, to reflect it back to us. But if there's a conflict in our conscious mind, we would love to earn more. But subconsciously, we might believe that people that make a lot of money have to be dishonest, or money inherently is evil, or all these ideas that and that could be a deep-seated belief you don't even know it's there. Is that right, Anne?
yeah, definitely. I've worked with a lot of clients privately over the years with their money blocks. Like I worked with a lady who she worked in sales and she was only making $3,000 a week in sales. And the manager kept pulling her in to say that if this doesn't increase, you're not going to have a job for much longer,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And I worked with her, cleared the blocks that was causing to only limit the $3,000 a week. And within 2 weeks, she was making 23,000 plus a week in sales.
Wow. Wow.
So
So
that's what happened.
it's not about doing more. This is the paradox, is that we're so conditioned to work harder, to sacrifice more, to get another strategy, Facebook and all that sort of palaver, to try and increase our sales. That logical, it makes sense, and we need the strategy. But when you shift your consciousness at a deep level to a new and a stronger belief system, everything changes, because you've got a different frequency being broadcast by yourself, by your being. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah. So anything is achievable for any of us, but we have to do the inner work to clear the blocks,
Yeah,
practice what we need to, learn the skills, and then be able to be in the right lane.
brilliant.
So, yeah.
So and you and I were talking this morning. This came out of just a normal Monday morning business meeting that Anne and I had, and we just started talking about this concept. We thought we better record it. But if anything that we said resonates with you, Anne and I have developed a online platform, EyV Networks, a community of people, like-minded people, that learn the skills to enable themselves to go to the next level. And it's like mindset gym. People go to the gym to exercise their body. You have to go to the gym to exercise your mind and to change consciousness. It can happen in a day, but it's more likely that it's a process that just happens over time. And basically, we've created 3 levels so that it makes it simple. First, you understand your potential. Then we show you how to develop that potential. And it's a process. It's not rocket science. It's a process. It's just a different way of thinking. The secret ingredient is Anne's ability to connect intuitively and help you understand some of those subconscious blocks that are holding you back. So if it interests you, there is a link in our bio to our network, to our community, and we'd love to see you there.
Yeah, and for people who are already in our community, if you've got people who you want to invite in, then please do,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you know,
Pay it
the
forward.
more the merrier, as they say.
Yeah. Pay it forward. The community can grow exponentially. There's no limit to the number of people that can join, but there's enormous benefit for people who do join. So I'd love to see you there. Thanks, Anne.